you know, we were, you know, our production, it was like a really low budget, and a lot of times what happens in the business is people tell you that they've got money, and they attach your name to something, and they run out and they try to find money. And that's what I thought was going on here in this situation. And this guy said he had money, a little bit, not very much, but he said he had some. And so I said, okay, well, I remember this project that you brought me a couple of years ago that needed a real, yeah, the mic level was low on the film too. So.
Well, we brought 3 Blu-rays, and I think the third one was the one.
That's all right, that's all right.
But you guys heard it okay?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so anyway, so basically this guy said he had some money, and I said, well, I got this old script kind of hanging out that wouldn't cost me any money. I have to rewrite the whole thing, but I'll do it. And he said, okay. And so I kind of waited around for a while, and then his check, he wrote me a check, and his check cleared, and I was like, oh, fuck, man. So I started writing it, and so we wrote it, and I wrote it in 3 weeks, and during the 3 weeks, we went into pre-production. So while I was writing it, we were in pre-production, and so we did all pre-production, casting, location, crewing up, everything, getting the Screen Actors Guild, all of that without a script, you know. So everybody was just kind of following me, and I was saying, all right, we're going to need this here, and we're going to need an actress here, and we're going to need, you know, like a truck, and we didn't get a script until the first day of shooting, and then we shot this fucker in 12 days. So I'm very proud of that. You know, you know, if you know much about filmmaking, you know that 12 days isn't very much time.
Short amount of time.
Anyway, it was shot day for night, so all the night stuff was shot during the day. We shot 12-hour days, so we never went over 12 hours. So it was a labor of love for sure. You might have noticed a lot of people up there, they had like, you'd see their credits and they'd have like 3 different like things that they were doing on the movie.
His niece was on the movie, my mom was on the movie.
Most of the people, the sound house and the effects house and everybody worked, you know, we gave them a little bit of money up front.
Deferred.
A lot of deferred money. You know, a lot of people work for almost nothing really. You know, I mean.
Something.
But very little. A lot of deferred money, which they're going to see, I believe.
What I think is great about it is there's very few characters, but they're all very quirky. You're playing a hermit. You're playing a party girl, and the cops are like coke snorting, corrupt guys snapping women's necks. Did you have fun both like creating those characters and playing them?
Hell yeah. Yeah, no, it was. I mean, you know, Danielle and I are really good friends. She's one of my best friends, and initially our friendship became close because she taught me how to pole dance. So it wasn't that far from the truth for us, except for that, you know. Not really strippers.
And I was like, you know, there's one thing that's always just kind of blown me away about men, and that is, you know, no matter how big they are, no matter how powerful they are, no matter how much is at stake, that fucking pussy fucking overrules it, you know. No matter who you are. And at the end, it seems like these days that's what brings you down, man. And so, you know, I kind of, you know, it's happened to me, so I'm not, you know, getting any fingers, you know. So that was kind of my like if there's any moral to the story is, you know,
watch out for
keep your dick in your pants, you know. But that'll never happen, you know. That'll never happen for, you know, from now to eternity. It's just the way it is.
There's no like 15-year-olds here. Nobody's admitting it.
Hey, with all the chasing and the fighting and, excuse my language, screwing, there's a lot of physicality in the film for the actors. How was that on the short shooting days, but long hours, physicality, etc.? Was that like how was that to deal with?
It was fun. We were tired. The sex stuff was
Yeah, we shot the sex scene first. It was the very first thing we did because
he just came out naked.
I didn't.
The robot took it off and scared his niece.
Yeah, my niece was working on the film. And we shot that first because I hadn't quite finished a couple of what we were going to be shooting that afternoon. So we shot that first, and
you kind of let everybody know that he was committed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we were going to have to get it rolled anyway, so I just kind of, walked into my trailer naked. So it's not a big, Right, I didn't have a trailer. Forget, I didn't have a trailer.
There was no trailer. There was a van.
Dropped my drawers, but I mean, we're going to get naked anyway. But as far as that goes, I mean, the fighting stuff. First of all, it says stunt coordinator up there. It wasn't really a stunt coordinator. It was the guy who owns the property, and all.
So he is a stunt guy, and then he became the stunt coordinator because we were shooting on his property.
Kind of, yeah, and he
helped.
Kind of helped, yeah. He like all the stuff that we did inside of the house was just me and Ryan just going for it, just like a couple of kids like play fighting, and that was all for real, when I pick them up and throw them
my
out.
blowjob was real too.
No pads.
Kidding. I said that in Spain, and they wrote it in an article.
We didn't have any pads. There were never any pads in the show. So all that fighting was done without any pads. Not really any stunt coordination per se. I mean, he was around, but
He was around when Michael got choked out, and then he stepped in and said, "Have any of you seen that online?" None of you. Wow. Okay. Go to YouTube. Look at Michael Biehn getting choked out, and that scene where at the end when he's strangling him, he really passed out. It's on YouTube.
the thing about it was that, there's something called the LAPD chokehold. They used to use that in Los Angeles before they kind of ruled it out because it killed people every once in a while. That was back during Daryl Gates' time, and they used it, I think, for 5 or 6 years. The LAPD chokehold. I figured this guy would know. I know it because I like to hang around with cops. And I figured this guy's a cop, he'd know the LAPD chokehold, so I told him if I could put it on me. And I wasn't thinking. I was just like, just go for it, man. And we're just moving so fast. I'm like, this shot, this shot, go, no, LAPD, do it like this, put it on. And I don't know. I just guess I thought I was fucking tougher than I was. But, and I don't know what I thought, but anyway. I told him I'd tap out if I got into trouble, and it happened a lot faster than I thought. So I tapped out, but I tapped out a little too late, and so I ended up kind of in la la land for about 10 or 15 seconds. That's online.
There's also on the DVD when it comes out next year, are going to be a bunch of extras of behind the scenes, the making of, and there's a lot of Michael screaming.
Yeah.
And everyone.
Yeah.
Kind of cursing, a lot of screaming.
Kind of a rageaholic when it comes to directing. When you're doing 35 setups a day, it's hard to be patient. For me, anyway. I like to call it passion.
From all the directors you worked with, were there any particular ones who influenced you in your own becoming a director yourself?
Well, I think, Cameron always told me I should be a director. Has always said that. And then when I worked with Robert, he, kind of put this idea in my head that I could do a grindhouse kind of movie, I could do something really cheap, like just down and dirty and just exploitation. And that was it. It was like, okay, well, I'm going to do a little exploitation movie. I've got a little bit of money, but I don't have enough for special effects makeup. I don't have enough for visual effects.
Ron Hall did that for us as a film.
And I didn't have any money for hardly anything. So I was like, what am I going to exploit? So I looked at her and I asked her if she'd take off her clothes, do nasty shit on the film for me, and she said, sure. And then we asked Danielle, and
she said, sure.
She said, sure, too. And then I figured, like drugs and dirty cops is always good. And I had time to do a little bit of action and a little bit of torture, and I thought, fuck it, I'll just throw in a serial killer. And I just fucking mixed it in a bowl and wrote it in 3 weeks, and that's what it is. That's how it came out. So we're.
How have have you felt with the audience response to the films? I know it's played several festivals, different parts of the world, etc. Has it other certain